Next slide.
Sir, I have changed.
Okay. Now, institutional best practices. Please remember, sometimes the best practices are individually managed. Suppose a principal is there. His practice is something, really a validation. What happens is, as long as he is there, the institution practicing, thinking of him. But the moment he leaves, the whole practice is forgotten. That means it has become an individualization and not institutional. The leader or anybody, they should make it as an institutional practice. Men may come and men may go. The best practices must be institutional. That's the whole view of this entire slide. So institutional is an effort to make it more institutional-centric rather than leader or individual-centric, and also make the best practices as a normal practice. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide.
Sir, I have changed,
No,
sir.
yeah. Now we have to make it internalized. See, individual may develop, it should become institutionalization, and once it is institutionalized, what I mean is every stakeholder must take it as their own. They have to take it as internal to them. The best practices may be from the principal or a HOD, but every teacher have to take it. That's what I mean by the institutionalization in the concept in the institutions. It may be considered as internalization when it refers to individuals of the institution. That is, teachers must internalize it. The students must internalize it. As far as the institution is concerned, it is institutionalization. So experience shows that attitudes play a more critical role in quality. Internalization is an attitude formation conducive to sustaining quality of higher education. Please remember, Aristotle rightly observed, we are what we repeatedly do. I repeat, we are what we repeatedly do. So excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So this internalization now becomes a habit, and therefore the institution has now become internalization. Next. Next, please. Next.
I have changed, sir.
Yeah. Now, please remember, education is social process. The institution not only have the social responsibility of application of best practices, but also have equal social responsibility of dissemination of these for wider application of the system. Many HCAs do not attempt certain practices due to lack of information about the feasibility and adaptability. It is observed that the best practices are borrowed practices. I repeat, it can be borrowed, no problem. The best practice of all. Some institutions may follow some best practice. That can be followed by us also, but still it's a best practice. See, best practices can be shared, but not the distinctness. We must learn and benefit from each other's experience. That is the attempt of best practice. Even within the institution, at times there are communication gaps. Some HOD may practice some of the best practices with very children, but it should be disseminated to all others. Everybody else should follow. Yeah. So she may feel or he may feel, this is my unique, I am doing it. Sir, you should make it as institutionalized and everybody become internalized. Effective use of learning and reviewing is essential to develop a conviction in the system for a particular. Institution may have to evolve suitable strategies like database of good practices, review forums of good practices, recording of evidences for success stories to discuss within and among them. Next, please. Next. Next. Yeah. Now conclude your questions.
Yes, sir.
The best practice, I'll take under 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I'll finish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The concluding observations on best practices. The best practice benchmark approach is an inductive approach. That is, from the institutions comes. Inductive is the deductive is parapadu. This is parapadu in Tamil. I am sorry, others people are there. So the best practice benchmark approach is an inductive approach to quality management inherited with a focus on practice and continuous improvement. There is a 5-stage approach which help institutions of higher education to play their role effectively in the quality sustenance and the best as an ideal should be the vision of every higher education in the country. Please note, stakeholders can contribute differently. It may be teachers, it may be administration staff, it may be principal, or it may be for the realization of this goal by institution. So the first point is the stakeholders can contribute. Then policymakers in education have an important responsibility of creating an enabling policy framework for effective functioning of the institution. The management must ensure proper infrastructure and effective governance of this. And the teachers have a critical role in building competence of learners through best pedagogic practices. I repeat, the teachers have a critical role in building competencies of learners through best pedagogic practices. Finally, the students for whom the whole system is designed should demand for. Next please. Next slide, please.
I've changed, sir.
Yeah. There is a 4ID model. First, identify best practices, implement the best practices, institutional best practices, internalize the best practices, finally, disseminate the best practices. These are the key elements we are to follow. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. With regard to criteria 7, the institute values and social responsibility. First, promotion of gender equity, alternate source of energy and energy conservation, facilities for degradable and non-degradable wastes, water conservation facilities, green campus initiatives, quality audits on energy and green. The institution is disabled friendly, inclusive situationist, inclusive environment, human values and personal ethics, sensitization of students and employees to the constitutional, this is a spelling mistake, constitutional obligations, then code of conduct for students, teachers, administrators, other staff, celebrations of national and international commemorative days and events. And you have to give two best practices in the NAC format. Next slide. Next slide. So some point is a quality one. You have to give in 500 words. Measures initiated by the institution for the promotion of gender equity during the last 5 years. Again, discuss gender equity and sensation in curricular and co-curricular activities. The facilities of women on campus within 500 words. Please note, provide web link to annual gender sensation program, specific program for women in terms of safety and security, counseling, common rooms, daycare center for young children, any other relevant. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. 7.12, the quantitative. The institution has facilities for all types of energy and energy conservation, solar energy, biogas plant, wheeling to the grid, sensor-based energy conservation, use of LED bulbs and power efficient equipment. Yeah, they given 5. You can have all or any 3, depending upon it, you'll get the mark. You have to give geotag photograph. That's very important. Next one. Next one. Next one. 7.3, again qualitative. Discuss the facilities institution for management of the following types of degradable and non-degradable waste. I have given the different types, provide web link to all these things, relevant documents. Next slide. Next slide. 7.4. Water conservation facilities available in rainwater harvesting, borewell or open recharge, construction of tanks and bunds, wastewater recycling, maintenance of water bodies and distribution system. You can give the several options, whether all 5 or 3, etc. Again, geotag photographs and video facilities must be there. Please, next. Next. Green campus initiative. The institution initiatives are greening the campus, restricted entry of automobiles, use of bicycles and battery-powered vehicles, pedestrian-friendly pathways, ban on use of plastic, landscape with trees, etc. All the things, as in the earlier case, geotags, videos of next. Next. 7.16, this is again quantitative. Quality audits on environment and the energy. The institutional environment and energy initiatives clean and clean campus, whether any award you got or recognitions. Beyond the campus, environmental promotion. You can go to a village, near village, and promote it. Again, give the options. Again, reports must be, audit must be supported, certification must be there, and all those things. Next one. Next one. Yeah. Now, the institution has a disability friendly, barrier free. Will the environment with ramps or lifts for access to the classroom, disability from washroom, signage, signboards for tacit guard, lights, display boards and signboards, and facilities for persons with disabilities, accessible website, screen reading software, mechanized equipment, and then professional or human assistant. Say for example, some blind boy want to write exam, help him, reader, scribe, soft copies, reading material. Yes. Inclusion and situation. Describe the institutional efforts, initiatives in providing an inclusive environment that is tolerance and harmony towards cultural, regional, linguistic, communal, socio-economic, and other dialects with 500 words. They have to give the supporting documents and then reflected in the administrative document. Next one. Next. Next. Sir, I come to the end.
Excuse me, sir.
Human values and processes.
Yes, sir.
I come to the end. Two more slides.
No, sir. You have
Sensitization of students. Yeah. Employment institutions to the constitutional obligations, values, rights, duties, responsibilities. So discuss the various activities of institution for inculcating values and being responsible citizens in 500 ways. Provide link to details of all these activities. Next. Next. Institution has a prescribed code of conduct for students, teachers, administrators, other staff, and conducts periodic programs on this regard. And then the code of conduct is displayed on the website. Name posts are there. There is a committee to monitor the adherence of this. Institution organizes professional programs for the student, teachers, administrators, other staff. Annual awareness programs are on code of conduct are being organized. Again, the choices, etc. Next. Yeah, institute celebrates and organizes national and international commemorative days, events. Again, give the annual report of geotags and so on. Next. Yeah. Best practices, at least two best practices which have been successfully implemented by the institution as per the NAC format must be provided in the SSR. And you can give any relevant. Next, final. Next one. Okay, how the format, title of the practice, subject of the practice, the context, the practice, evidence of success, problems encountered, and the notes. Next one. Last. Yeah. This is very important. Institutional discipline. That is, this institution is known for this particular aspect. Suppose Manna College sends every year a national player who wins gold or at least silver. So that institution is known for that particular thing. Something unique, something which has not been done by others. That is what I mean by distinction. And every institution has to identify some which is not done by others. Please note, this is distinct. And you have to portray the performance of the institution in any one area. Distinct is priority. And maybe, say for some company, one game, your institution is on the top of the country. You may develop a team, and that institution will be known for that. Like that, there should be some distinct practice, maybe academic, maybe co-curricular, maybe research, maybe anything. See, suppose somebody says, sir, we have in our lab a unique, say, geology lab. No other lab has like this. See, something different. I have seen in every institution, at least I visited more than 140 institutions. Some institutions distinguish themselves by their uniqueness. I repeat, distinctness is nothing but uniqueness, which is not done by others. Okay, fine. Next. Okay, friends, thank you for the patient hearing. Of course, you are muted by the host. Now we will have another 10 or 15 minutes for discussion. I thank
Sir,
the organizers.
Sir, you please open your video, sir. You,
Yeah, 1 minute.
unmute your video.
Yeah,
Enable your video.
start my video. Yeah, I have done it. My screen I can put it off, am I right? Okay.
Yes, yes. Sir, we have received nearly 15 questions, sir.
Oh, great.
Yes, sir. I'll read out one by one and we'll take as per the seniority.
Okay.
Sir, can I read out the question, sir?
Yeah, please, please.
Yes, sir. The first question is, it is raised by Hemakumar. Why is it the self-financing colleges not paid UGC pay scale? It should be also included in the governance right.
And they should be done. But then there is another issue. As I said, these are the areas EDU-preneurs. The educationists becoming entrepreneurs. They want to earn or mint money out of education. It is these people who spoil the entire gamut of education. They compromise quality. I tell you, they not only pay low salaries for the teachers, they even, while in admission, I know some of these, I do not name the institution, he will say, the person will say, I want to accommodate even the people who failed, I want to give them a chance. But he will not give them ordinary. Suppose a boy has failed one time, he has to pay the double time tuition fees. The boy has failed 2 times, triple times, 4 times. Number of failures mean more number of money. But they will say, I'm trying to accommodate even the poor, the worst student. But at what cost? At the cost of money. They do it as a means to earn money. So friends, self-finance, I am of the strong opinion. Self-financing people must also be given the equal pay, because as per the Supreme Court order, equal work must be paid equal pay. But in this country, there are variables, there are so many factors decide. But at least I want that self-finance colleges must pay the teachers a reasonable scale of pay, because I find there's a simmering differences between the teachers who are paid the UG scales of pay. Somebody getting 1,10,000 for doing the same work, somebody getting 10,000, 8,000. This is an irony of the situation. Yes, we have been talking about at the higher levels. I hope something good will happen. Now remember, the same thing was happening earlier. Because of which I thank NITA for one thing. It is this NITA, AUT, and all those institutions, they fought, and if there is no agitation today, means these organizations fought and got the right salary for the teachers. Thanks to this association. I will never forget that. Okay, next.
Thank you,
Next
thank you,
question.
sir. The second question is, sir, I agree that teaching is not important, learning is important. If so, what are the mechanisms for evolving regular performance of a staff?
No, see, the question is, when the teaching is not important, learning is important, then now the teacher role became a facilitator. The teacher role becomes a mentor. The teacher say, the learning should lead to understanding, understanding should be thinking, thinking to critical thinking to creative thinking, innovative thinking. In fact, now, again we can assess that teacher, how many intellectuals he can produce, the attainment of COs, other things, we can easily evaluate. There's absolutely no problem, sir. Even while learning process happens, how you are enabling your students to learn and how they come out intellectuals in all aspects. So there are mechanisms whereby even in this learning environment, first of all, how the teachers enables the learning environment among the students. See, I will tell you one important thing. You go to the class, make a wanton mistake, knowing fully well you are making a mistake. At least one student will stand up and say, sir or madam, what you are saying is wrong. Don't shout at him, ask him to say. When he raises a question, you politely answer with another question. What is wrong? Why it is wrong? How it is wrong? Why can't you say like this? See, try to answer a question with another question, thereby enabling things further, enabling all the students to interact. I am one of those who strongly believe every classroom must be a center of creativity. Think. Then only they can do wonders. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Raja Sarkar. Should the institution management give complete freedom to the academicians in their institutes to take decisions related to academics?
Yeah, why not? They have to, in alignment with the regulatory body's principles. Like, say, if it is an autonomous institution, no problem. In academic matters, they have freedom. But in affiliated institution, the Board of Studies prescribes this curriculum. And the colleges have a role by representing whatever change they want through the Board of Studies, through their representatives, or through their principal who are participants, who are members of the academic college. So it all depends upon whether it's autonomous college or an affiliated college. In the affiliated colleges, you have a limited role of freedom. But in the case of autonomous college, you have the entire freedom you can do. But then the management must be willing to give their role for it. Next.
Thank you, sir. This is from Sahul Hamid from Chennai. Can you suggest a mechanism to disseminate the institution's vision and mission where most of the students are from educationally and economically backward?
Sir, the first and the foremost is that I would say mouth to mouth. If they are really good, if you produce intellectual, very good students, and the senior goes out, he himself says to all his relatives and friends, I studied in this engineering college, really good. The teachers are conducted very well, and there are so much facilities. These are the things which will really add value to you. That they are the first ambassadors. That is the fast student. Alumni. The second thing is you have to state your vision mission very clearly in the website. Today, everybody is knowledgeable. Everyone, before they go to an institution, they visit the website. What are the facilities? That's why I said, when I was talking about the website, a holistic website, which gives all the information about the institution. And the first, when the website comes out, state clearly vision institution, and you have to be true to the vision mission. Please note the second point. After stating the vision and the mission, but true to the vision and the mission, then you will definitely get one. Next.
Thank you, sir. So this is from Dr. Malati. Is there any specific LMS or MIS appreciated for its easy and quick learning of all the members and students.
Any specific, LMS.
LMS and MIS, LMS or MIS appreciated for its easy and quick learning of all the members and the students.
One thing I want to say, LMS is many things, but I would say Moodle e-platform, which is one appreciation of many people, easy to use. There are many e-platforms like Canvas, other things, but I would prefer Moodle, which can be appreciated. And there are many, MOOC platform, but each one has got its own uniqueness. As I said, EDAX, hosted by Harvard and MIT, other things. The best of the brains of the world, as I said, because Harvard at any given point of time, 15% of faculty members are Nobel Prize winners. MIT like that. So that is one thing. Not even a single page. All courses, the nursing, the engineering, the anthropology, mention any course, it is there. Everything free. That's one thing. But at the same time, I would appreciate Khan Academy, under MOOC platform. Uniqueness is hosted by Indian. It is also free. He only says, if you are so happy, you can donate. But you know, the donations are pouring in like that because the way in which the material is delivered, curriculum delivered, is so unique. So telling the truth, of all the people, Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, who has got 2 sons, he asked his 2 sons to study programming and coding through Khan Academy. I repeat, of all the people, Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, asked his 2 sons to study programming and coding through Khan Academy. That's the way in which Khan Academy develops. And then, most of the top institutions across the globe, including institutions like MIT, they have their own code. EDAX, Stanford, other students are all following Khan Academy. And they, at the end, they contribute. And see, that's what the Indianness. The way Indians are the best teachers across the globe. Friends, let me tell you, when I was in Drexel and I was teaching, I was recognized as the best teacher of the entire team for 2 years. Because the teachers have the, Indians have the ability to teach very well and reach the hearts of the students. So, the MOOC platform, unique, the Moodle platform, LMS, all those things. There are many things which we can appreciate. Next.
Yes, thank you, sir. Next question is, this is from Devika. Is the best practice depending upon the department or college?
See, best practice for the institution, we insist. That's why I said, just because one department is doing some best practices, don't take this department. You make it institutional wise. Or some individual may do wonderfully well as a teacher. It's good for her. But she should try to make it as an institution. Only when the whole institution becomes, then it becomes a best practice. It's not individual centric, it's not department centric, it should be institution centric. Next.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Dr. P. Baladevi. She's from APC Acknowledgement College from Tuticorin. Identification of challenges is vital for quality enhancement. How again should an institution ideally identify and address the same?
Identification of what is the challenge?
Identification of challenges is vital for quality enhancement.
I fully endorse your opinion. Every institution has its own unique challenges. See, some institution may be far off from the city. Even reaching the institution at times will be a challenge. See, in the case of APC Acknowledgement College, it is another city, unlike POC College. So, sometimes even reaching the institution is challenging. But we have to find out ways and means, either approach the government to run adequate number of buses and all those things. So every institution has got its own challenges, and challenges can be overcome. Then only life will be interesting. If you are not meeting your challenges, you are not a human being at all. So identifying challenges and overcoming challenges is the innate ability of all the teachers, all the institutions. I'm sure definitely APC Acknowledgement College management is capable of identifying along with teacher and overcome that. Next.
Thank you, sir. Next is from Dr. Sundareswari. What is physical expenditure and academic expenditure? Kindly explain the classification.
The physical expenditure, say, in terms of money. And then academic expenditure, I would say your brain using. There is, if you want to differentiate academic expenditure for just a tuition fees, other things, that also can be done. Physical expenditure, staying in the hostel or commutation, all those things. What she really wants me, I really do not know. But I think physical expenditure, I mean commuting to the college, staying in the hostel, physically having books, other things, etc. And academic expenditure purely for the purpose of tuition fees, purchase of books, etc. Am I right?
Thank you, sir. Sir, next question is from Raj Mohan R. Sir, could you please explain certain weak areas that an institution would miss to focus during the NAC preparation?
See, it all depends on the institution. But I know the many people, they play a role. They think they're smart. I have seen throughout these research, they may most important aspect as far as Anthony. When I go to institution, without telling them, I will go to the toilet. First toilet. Toilet is maintained by institution very neatly. The whole thing is very good. There is a saying in our families: if the kitchen is maintained properly, the whole thing is cleanness. The toilet, water, and other things are maintained properly, the institution take care of everything else. This is my personal opinion.
Yes, sir. Next question is from Dr. Israt Jahan. Sir, my question is, nowadays institutions are more focusing on other practices rather than teaching learning. In the name of best practices, they are including other activities which divert students. What do you think about new generation of students and role of best practices for them for future perspectives? All institutions run behind NAC.
Right. See, NAC is one way of assessing quality, but that's not the final one. There are still disputes. We are discussing at penny level. Even now, NAC is undergoing CSR changes. See how the optional criteria, which are 50 has now come to 30. I don't say NAC is absolute authority on everything, but at least to our mind, we should be not worried. And the question is, the academic importance is lessened in terms of other, maybe skill-based courses, maybe induction programs or other things, as listed in the UGC quality mandate. Please remember, their aim is to, this education is a man-making process. The man should be developed in all his aspects, like social interaction, ethics, values, moral, physical fitness, and innovation, digitally he's capable. So all this has to be made as a holistic person, as a citizens, including citizens. So we have to spend sometimes on citizenship, during the course of time, sometimes on social interactions, human values, ethics, environmental, all these things. In fact, when the Supreme Court ordered that environmental courses should be part of the curriculum, there is a hue and cry among the even academicians. Sir, my 2 hours are taken out and we are unable to cover the portion. Please don't tell. Don't say cover the portion. You teach only 50%. Make the student learn the rest on their own. You be a facilitator. You don't teach or rather cover that portion. So I do agree with that question there. Yes, today when we are concentrating on other aspects, the time constraint will be there, but you point out these things, be a facilitator, make the student learn on their own. Next.
the last two questions, sir. It will be great if a little more description is given on geotagged photographs.
See, this is technology, photograph. You have to just, as it is, you have to tag it. And then, don't worry, just go to google.com, what is geotagging, explanation there, you will get it. Okay, next.
Sir, what do you mean by pedagogic requirements?
Yeah, that is pedagogy requirement, teaching methodology requirements. In fact, if there is one profession in this country which doesn't require so much pedagogy requirement, if you want to become an elementary school teacher, you have to undergo training as a teacher. If you want to become a high school teacher, you should have taken BA, where pedagogy is taught. But if you want to become a university teacher or a college teacher, no. Just take your degree, walk in. Maybe a PhD. But he knows only about research. Has he got any pedagogic bent of mind? So now in the UGC quality mandate, there's a saying, staff induction program, where the pedagogic technology are being taught and he is being ready. He may be, he is an expert in the subject, in the research, but does he orient towards himself, towards teaching that? Yeah, pedagogic requirement is a must for the teaching profession, be it university or a college, as in the case of high school, or as in, that's why the whole HRD's progress on depend there. Next.
Thank you, sir. We had 10 or 11 questions, sir. All the questions are answered. Now, principal will have a few words, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, principal, sir, over to you, sir.
Is it audible?
Yeah,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes. Professor, really, 1.5 hour presentation is very useful to our institution. And in addition to that, you highlighted our role, particularly the role of the principal, IKC coordinator, and the management for getting a very good accreditation in future IKC visit, because we are in the verge of another IKC NAC visit. So, and in your presentation, you have covered all the things and you highlighted the overall responsibility of the faculties, the principal, faculties, and the student. And most of the time, whenever we are gathering for any one or very particular word for talking about this IKC related meeting, we are always raising the question related to the best practices. So in your presentation, we are able to come to conclusion. These are all the best practices in which we are able to do, and we can again, it is very much useful for creating the best practice for forthcoming visit, NAC visit. And regarding the question, and in addition to that, you highlighted the importance of research and gender equity, environment consciousness, sustainability, all the things you have to highlight, and 4 I's and D model and campus, green campus, all these things you have highlighted. And regarding question session, really it's very nice, because more than I think nearly 15 questions were posed by the audience, and all the questions they got very good, excellent answer from your side, particularly self-finance faculties they are raising related to their salary, and some of the questions related to freedom to staff, LMS, pedagogy, physical expenses, and academic expenses. For that, they go and refer again. Okay, and so these are all things it is very much useful to our institution. That is very, very important. Really, I am very happy with your presentation, and it is very much useful to our institution for forthcoming NAC visit. Highlight of your session is you are talking about talking about the cleanliness of the campus related to this best practice. So in this way, as a principal of this institution, I really appreciate you, and among your busy schedule, you give your concern for presenting or accepting our university, accepting our invitation for this webinar session. So thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice presentation. Once again, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving the opportunity. Your team is really good. Actually, team is doing a wonderful job.
Yes, yes, sir. Actually, in this occasion, I would like to thank Dr. Ramasubaya, IQAC coordinator, and the team of IQAC. And apart from that, I would like to thank our management, because whenever we go and approach the management without any hesitation, they are always appreciate us, and they are motivating us for doing things like this. So by the way of motivation of our secretary, we are doing this webinar session also. So again, once again, I thank the management, the faculty member, and you and all the participants all over the world. Thank you. Thank you.
Good. Keep going
Thank
strong.
you, sir.
Keep going strong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you,
Keep
sir.
going strong.
Sir, for your excellent, sir. Thank you, sir, with your blessing and guidance. And sir, I would like to bring it to your knowledge that, for your reference, that participants, there are 530 participants today. And there are some technical glitches which our sincere apology from the host side. This technical glitches will be sorted out tomorrow. And 530 participants, that they are from London, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Bangalore. Particularly, I would see Professor Vinay from Christ University is here, is very much present here. And then you have Bangalore, Gujarat, Assam, Delhi, and all over from Tamil Nadu. And this is our humble apology to all the participants. Still, you are facing problems to get into the webinar room, and this problem will be sorted out. This happened in the last minute, and so far, last 2 to 3 days, you have not come across any problem. But since we had different idea to post the mails that we encountered some problems, that problem will be sorted out. And sir, we must appreciate you on behalf of the host institution. Not even in a single drop of water. You took nearly 2 hours at this stage, sir. And the institution is very kind.
The only thing is, at one point of time, I was unable to move the slides. Otherwise, another 10 minutes would have been saved. Yes, I'm asking Imala to move the slides. I would have done it a little bit quickly. Thank you for the
yes, sir. Have few words.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sir, before formal, yes, sir. Before the formal vote of thanks, and have few words with our secretary, sir. Secretary, sir, is also present here.
Oh, great. Okay.
He is also like a participant. He is also present here right from the beginning to the end.
Very good.
Please,
okay.
Yes, sir. You would like to have some words with him, sir?
No problem. I can. No problem.
Host. Please unmute. Yes, sir. Secretary, sir, is listening to you, hearing you, sir. Please speak to him.
Professor.
Yeah.
Really good presentation.
Thank you.
Good presentation. You have also guided much what the management should do, what the responses of the faculty members, and how the students should use it. And it is really, I did not expect such a presentation from arranged by the IQAC. Really proud of it, and really I also enjoyed it, and I realized what the management's responsibility also in the development of the institution. Really, thank you, Professor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I know your ability, and I have seen you so many times with Mr. Dr. Swami, and really I'm happy to see you here on the screen.
Good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Now Before the formal vote of thanks, I would like to inform the participants. Please log in tomorrow by 3:30 because we were not able to connect the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Madurai Kamaraj University, and he promised us that he will come tomorrow and he will address us for 20 minutes. After that, tomorrow don't miss the session because it is like today. Tomorrow also we have an important session on ethics of research in the digital era for teachers, and I have specially invited a professor from Agricultural University of Gujarat, and I assume that like today, and you will 200% you will enjoy this session. And I sincerely once again regret for the technical issues. Tomorrow definitely it will be solved. And I would see that tomorrow, today we had 530 participants, and tomorrow we expect more than 900. Still, people are in queue that they are not able to connect in, and that problem will be solved tomorrow. And with these few words, assuring the quality in all the six or 7 days, I formally invite Professor Kavita Madam, the senior IQAC member, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Urvashi. I am P. Kavita, Associate Professor of Physics and IQAC member of Manna Tirumala Nayakar College. Thank you very much, sir, for your highly informational speech, sir. We enjoyed so much your speech. You are motivated all the participants with your great speech, sir. Really, thank you very much, sir. On behalf of our institution, I wholeheartedly thank you for accepting our invitation and joining our webinar program, sir. This is the first kind of program that we are conducting this, sir. You are the first speaker of this 6 days program. Thank you very much, sir. And I also like to thank our professor, Vice Chancellor, Krishnan sir, who is accept to inaugurate this program. And I also thank our beloved secretary and our principal for their wonderful contribution to this program and their welcome address and felicitation. My special thanks to today's moderator, Dr. A. Ramasubaya, and I thank all the participants, each and every participant across the globe for their overwhelming response to this program. And at last I thank my team, IQAC team, particularly Mr. Sardar for his hard work and the effort making this function as a grand success. Thank you all. We will meet tomorrow program.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so much, sir. Dear participants, will be meeting tomorrow by 3:30 for an inaugural for a speech from our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Madurai Kamaraj University, and at 4 o'clock we'll start the session, the second session exactly. So I request you all to join us tomorrow. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, thank you so much, sir. I'll come to you. I personally come to you over phone, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. Now we'll end the meeting. Thank you, Principal, sir. Okay. Thank you, Secretary, sir. Thank you all the teamwork of IQAC. Thank you so much. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you so much for your committed work. We made it possible. Thank you so much. Sudhakar, you close the meeting. End the meeting. Sudhakar.